Hello dear students. So many students have been asking me what should they be doing in the last 7 or 8 days that we have left for IPMAT Rohtak. So instead of just guiding them one on one, I thought I should come up with a video so that everyone can benefit from this. So let's look at the 7-day, 7-point action plan for IPMAT Rohtak. So before we go ahead, we all need to know about the paper pattern and the details about IPMAT Rohtak first. So as we all know, IPMAT Rohtak has 3 sections, QA, LR and VA. Each section has 40 questions and each question carries 4 marks. So each section basically carries 160 marks. And out of these 160 marks, the cutoff, so there is no sectional cutoff and there is no sectional time limit. So the total paper is 480 marks, and out of the 480 marks, the overall cutoff to get an interview call for IPM Rohtak has been 257 in 2021 and 306 in 2022, which is quite a stern rise in the cutoff marks. This only goes to show that either the exam has become much easier or the students are better prepared. I think it is a combination of both, and that is why going forward in the 2023 attempt, I guess the cutoffs can be expected to be around 300 only, if not more. Alright, so let's quickly go ahead and see what should be our strategy further. Now, strategy for IPMAT Rohtak, this is a very generic strategy that I'm going to give you. You can, may be a little flexible as per your strong areas, as per your mock test attempts, and as per your, solving patterns. But primarily, IPMAT Rohtak has been a test of speed. So how does it test your speed? It has 120 questions and only 120 minutes. And the cutoff, if it is around 300, you actually have to attempt around 100 questions and get almost 80 to 85 questions correct. That simply means 80 to 85 or rather 100 attempts in 120 minutes. Clearly, you need to maintain that speed and consistency for 2 continuous hours. And that is why it tests your speed and accuracy both. Now, to score 300 plus in such a test, you can either be a balanced person, but I generally come across students who are not so equally balanced in all the 3 sections. Also, in IPMAT Rohtak, the advantage that students have is that you don't have sectional cutoffs. So you don't have to restrict yourself, to study balanced for all the 3 sections. You can, focus on your strong areas and score really big in your strong areas. And even if you score moderately well in the other 2 areas, you can still cross the cutoff and score much more than that as well. So that is one key point, that, don't try to study everything. You can focus on your strong areas and still score really big. Also, the cutoffs mentioned over here are based on the 2022 paper. As you take mock tests, you'll realize the cutoffs can go up and down based on the difficulty level of the paper. So therefore, you need to be flexible while guessing the ideal attempts and the target score to achieve while you're solving the paper. So be flexible with that and gauge the difficulty of the paper on the merit of the questions. Now let's have a look at the 7-day, 7-point action plan for IPMAT Rohtak. Now first point here is a very basic point: revise key topics and formulae. Now what do I mean, or why is it important for IPMAT Rohtak, is because there are a lot of questions which are straightforward application of formulae, and if you miss out on those questions, you'll really regret. So therefore, it is very important to at least revise all the formulae and all the basic concepts thoroughly before IPMAT Rohtak exam. Now to do that, I'll just give you a list of all the important topics for QA, VA and LR. So the important topics for QA are here on your screen, and you can also plan to attempt around 30 to 32 questions in the QA section. Moving on, the important areas for VA are as shown in your screen, and the important topics for LR section are syllogisms, arrangements, and these topics which are shown on your screen. Again, LR is a very scoring area and you should aim to do really well in the LR section. Moving on to action point number 2. This is one of the most important points, because taking mock tests will only tell you how well you are, and only then will you be able to gauge what you need to do to improve further. So you need to take at least 3 mock tests, and you need to make sure that you're taking them at regular intervals, not taking 3 mock tests in a single day, So that's why as per the calendar, I've put mock tests on the 13th of May, 14th of May, 16th of May and 18th of May. At least 3. You can choose to take 4, 5 or only 3 also. Next, taking mock tests is not enough. So the third action point is to analyze mock tests. There's no benefit that you'll have from the mock tests if you don't analyze them. And what do I mean when I say analyze the tests? Look at the time that you're taking to solve each question. Look at the questions which you're not able to solve. Look at the questions which you're able to solve in a real quick time. Look at the questions which you're able to solve, but you're taking a lot of time. So if you are solving using the IMS portal, all the analytics is available in the analytics tab, and you can actually check how much time you took for each and every question, and the entire analytics is available to you. So do the analytics and identify where you can improve and where you're doing well. And well, yes, moving on from analytics, the outcome of mock analysis would be identifying strong and weak areas, which is our fourth action point. You have to specifically work towards identifying your strong areas, make a list of 5 to 10 topics from each chapter or other quant and LR, and 2-3 areas in verbal where you are strong and which will help you score the bulk of marks. So after analytics, do this identification of strong and weak areas and make sure that you focus on the strong areas during the exam and score big over there. At the same time, whichever are your weak areas where you're losing marks in the mock tests, at least do the basic revision of formulae from those topics so that you don't miss out on the sitter questions in the exam. Because as I told you earlier, there are a few questions in the exam which are direct formula application. So if you know the formula, you'll directly get the answer by simply substituting the values. So that's why don't miss out on those easy sitters from the weak areas at least. And after point number 4, we move on to action point 5, which is time management strategy. Now again, this is an outcome of the analysis and the mock tests only, because while you're taking mock tests, you'll try different combinations of time allocated to different sections. You might want to start with different sections in different attempts of the mock test. This will tell you which combination gives you the best outcome. In general, I would always recommend that you start with the strong area first and don't give it unlimited time. Fix a limited time to a certain section, move on to the next section, move on to the next section, and then in the end keep some buffer time which you can allocate to whichever areas or whichever questions are left. Generally, I would recommend you give 40 to 50 minutes to QA section in the first go, again a 30 to 40 minutes to LR section, and then another 25 minutes to VA section, and whatever time remains you can try out, or you can you allocate that to whatever questions remain. But please don't give unlimited time to a certain section. You have to restrict yourself. Even if it is your strongest area, you can't give it 80 minutes out of the 120 minutes. So therefore, time management is another important thing that you need to keep in mind while taking the test. Now looking at point number 6, one day before the test, you must all be very nervous on that day, but you don't have to be nervous. Do a light revision in the morning, take rest, probably do something to relax yourself, and make sure that you know the location of your venue very well. At least you or someone from your family or friends has checked the location themselves by visiting it one day before the test, so that you don't have to waste time searching it on the D-Day. Also, hall ticket, photograph, photo ID proof should be very handy. So make sure that you have taken the print in the morning itself. Don't wait till the night. Then the shops will get closed and you'll find yourself in a difficult situation, okay? So all this should be done before the test, and make sure you take ample rest. Sleep early. The exam is at 9 AM in the morning. So make sure you don't stay awake after 10 or latest by 11, because you have to wake up by 6 o'clock and you have to leave by 7 or 6:30, whatever. So make sure that you reach the center at least a few minutes, or don't plan to reach at the deadline of the center. So that takes me to the point number 7, the test day. Reach the center on time. Before leaving your home, make sure you've carried all your documents, your print of the hall ticket, your photograph, and your photo ID proof. Don't miss out on these things. Make sure you follow the COVID protocol. The only tip that I can give you right now is be confident on the D-Day, but don't be overconfident. Play the game on its merit. So all the best for your exam, and make sure that you join our Telegram channel for all the latest updates on IP MAT and BBA entrances. Also, if you haven't watched how to crack IP MAT Rohtak exam, there's a detailed video on what all you can study and how to study by Jaimin sir. So you can watch that video in the link at the end of this video. So all the best and hope you do well in IP MAT Rohtak. Thank you.